Hey guys, it's Sam and we are back again with an awesome recipe, a miniature strawberry loaf. Stay tuned to see how to make it.
The ingredients you'll need are 2 teaspoons of baking powder, half a teaspoon of salt, 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. Then you'll just combine that with a spoon. Then you'll go ahead and add your wet ingredients, less the strawberries. Now is also a good time to go ahead and preheat your oven to 350. Go ahead and get out a loaf pan. I'm going to use a miniature loaf pan so that my kids can take it to school. Super funny story. My kids tried to make this recipe and I handed them the recipe card, and when they tried to make it, they ended up using half of a cup of salt rather than half of a teaspoon of salt, and you could not even lick it. It was so salty, and I still make fun of them for it, and they get so sensitive about it. It's so funny. You can replace the strawberries with whatever fruit you choose to use, whether it be blueberries or whatnot. I would half your blueberries if you're going to use those. You can also use mango, pineapple. Just make sure you dry it off some, because what you don't want is a bunch of wet fruit in the batter. Next, you'll take those diced strawberries and just throw some flour over it. As you can see, I did not dry my chopped strawberries up very well, so I had to use a little more flour. You just want it to be well coated. That way it doesn't just sink to the bottom of the batter. The flour is going to help it cling to the space that it's in, so you don't have all of the strawberries at the bottom of the loaf. Then once that's done, you'll go ahead and combine that with your batter. Do it with a spoon. Do not use your mixer. It's just going to be overbeat at that point. You just want it well combined. Now go ahead and take your grease pan, put it on a baking sheet if you're using silicone like me, and go ahead and add about 1/4 of a cup of batter to each little loaf portion. Or if you're using a full loaf pan, go ahead and add it in there. I would use parchment paper on there if you're going to do that. Just it makes it easier to remove. Or if you're using a silicone mold, that's not necessary because you'll be able to pop it right out. You have a few options at this point. You can create a glaze for the top for when it's done, or you can use the crumble recipe from the top of the sourdough crumble recipe to go ahead and add to the top of this. And your other option would be to put sugar crystals on the top of it. Those last 2 options, though, you're going to have to add before you put it into the oven because they have to be cooked on top of it. You can add it afterwards. It just won't stick and it won't taste the same to add that crumble afterwards. It has to be toasted. If you're using a full loaf pan, make sure you cook it for 50 minutes. If you are using a miniature loaf, then you're only going to cook it for about 25 minutes. Having more options for the kids with a lot better ingredients is something that has become very important to us in a world full of processed food. So please let me know if you guys try this, and if your kids do enjoy it. Ours love it. If there are any recipes that you'd like to see, please leave them in the comment. We love to try new things, especially that we can make at home from scratch for our kids. Please subscribe if you'd like to see more recipes like this, and if you'd like to continue this journey with us as we learn how to become more sustainable. We still have lots to learn, but we can't wait to take this journey with you guys. Please leave a comment, like, and subscribe, and we will catch you on the next video.